Let's move over to some company news now. And in its annual results, African Bank reported a net profit after tax of over 700 million rand. The bank was also able to add 500,000 new accounts to its books. Now, these results follow African Bank's acquisition of Grindrod Bank, as well as the assets and liabilities of Ubank, both effective from the 1st of November this year. Joining me now to flesh out some of these numbers is the company's CEO, Kennedy Bungane. As always, Kennedy, thank you very much for joining us this evening. Maybe before we get into the specifics of the annual results, some of the highlights, some of the top performers that you saw contributing positively to the annual results you released today.
Well, thank you very much for having us. It has indeed been a good year for African Bank, where we saw in our first year of the implementation of our Accelerate 25 strategy that is meant to rapidly diversify the business from just a largely unsecured retail lender into a fully fledged retail and business banking that has got customer centricity, data and digital enablement in its diversified business. We saw evidence of that this year. You stated earlier on that part of the 38% uplift in our profits came from a significant increase in our transactional banking accounts, both in terms of the fees coming from there and its impact on our 19% uplift in our retail sales and deposits. This, of course, being part of diversifying our revenue streams, de-risking our balance sheet and preparing for a much more a full service for our customers going forward.
Yeah, and I mean, there are some other things coming for you going forward, business opportunities within the bank. I spoke about Grindrod, your acquisition of Grindrod, and what we're seeing with Ubank as well. But tell us about venturing into business banking. How closely is African Bank looking at this?
Thank you for that question. So if the numbers we're talking about today exclude Grindrod Bank and Ubank, who were only approved on the 1st of November after our financial year end. But they do offer significant fast-tracking of our strategy to expand the core of the business into commercial lending, into business, the middle of the pyramid business banking, and of course, digital SMEs that I'm really chuffed about because this is why this bank was founded in 1964. Black entrepreneurs from all over the country wanted to form a bank for the people, by the people, serving the people that would support entrepreneurs and SMEs. Our acquisition of Grindrod Banking and re-entry into SMEs means that we are back at exactly what the founding fathers and mothers of this country wanted, of this bank to be, something that would be a financial service partner to SMEs. And I just, if you allow me, say to your previous story, I'm a strong believer that we are not going to be able to arrest the critical challenge of unemployment, of benign growth in this country unless SMEs are unleashed and they are supported, not just through access to funding, but with an ecosystem of a financial services player that African Bank was established to be and is now back at being. It's only SMEs that will gather employment, that will get the potential of growth of this economy to actually be unleashed. And we are positioned as that bank for the people, by the people, to serve SMEs going forward.
Yeah, I mean, that's quite impressive, the plans you've got for Grindrod to service SMEs and also for the commercial lending. What is the plan for Ubank? Will it operate in its current form, or are you looking at alternative models for the market that it currently caters for?
Ubank is a very special bank, as you know, shares a story very similar to ours. Having been a bank founded and serving mine workers in the region. We are moving rapidly to integrate Ubank straight into what we do currently at African Bank. And I've already made strides over the last 29 days in doing so. The very loyal Ubank customers that have kept over 4.8 billion rands of retail deposits. We've moved them across to African Bank. The very loyal salaried transactional banking accounts holders at Ubank, we are busy offering them our much more attractive My World transactional banking offering that comes with an audacious reward and loyalty program that they did not enjoy before. So the integration of Ubank is already showing benefit for us in this new financial year and making significant additional services available for Ubank customers and the Ubank colleagues. It is bringing scale to our retail franchise.
And then finally, this was a conversation I was having with a market analyst a little bit earlier, Kennedy, and he just highlighted with the consumers, a lot of them struggling under the current circumstances. They're looking for more banks to lend them money should they need it. Are you comfortable as African Bank that your customers, should they default, if it ever comes to that, that you are sitting in a comfortable capital position to be able to mitigate against those customers that are heavily under pressure?
We're sitting on a healthy capital base. Our credit impairments increased by 7%, whilst our net advances increased by 38% in the last year. In fact, our credit loss ratio reduced to 4.8%. So it is healthy business. That said, the reality is that our customers are under pressure from food and fuel inflation, from high interest rates. Disposable income is under constraint. And so we've had to step back in terms of our risk appetite in unsecured lending and invite our customers who are feeling pressure coming to come talk to us so that we can be able to work with them to consolidate some of their debt, to help them with restructuring so that we can partner them right through what is still expected to be some tough a few months in the economy. We are lucky that with the diversification of our business over and above just lending, we can continue to rely on those diversified revenue streams, which we didn't have before.
Yeah, no, absolutely interesting insights. Thank you for joining us this evening. I mean, you're absolutely right. If the Reserve Bank's utterances last week are anything to go by, times are going to remain tough for us for a lot longer than we think. But thank you for joining us this evening. That is Kennedy Bungane. He's the Chief Executive of African Bank, sharing some insights of the results that they released today.